at 11 after 9. Each Thursday at this time, we give you our Lesser Lumber Helpful Tip, the helpful home improvement message brought to you by Lesser Lumber, Wayne Avenue in Indiana. January is remodel season, and Lesser Lumber Building Materials is your headquarters for anything that improves the inside of your home. Winter, the ideal time to start those interior upgrades, from kitchens and baths to trim, doors, flooring, and organizational projects like closets and pantries. Lesser Lumber's experts are ready to walk you through the products, measurements, and details that ensure your remodel goes smoothly. Whether you're working with a contractor or doing it yourself, Lesser gives you the confidence to make the right decisions. And don't forget, ordering materials now means you'll beat the spring rush and be ready to move outdoors the minute temperatures rise. Indoor upgrades today, outdoor upgrades tomorrow. That's how smart builders use winter. So see the number one provider of building materials in Indiana County, Lesser Lumber, quality you can build on, Wayne Avenue in Indiana. And it is Indiana in the morning. Now 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. And you know, every year we talk with Mike Baker once or twice through the course of the year. The Center for Organ Recovery is a very, very active organization that, Mike, I think you probably would say needs to be more active. We need more organ donors.
We always need more organ donors.
Yeah.
Always.
Our visit this morning presented by Marcus and Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. You can visit them online at marcusandmack.com. You brought a couple of folks with you today, too.
I actually did, and as a matter of fact, I have my successor, Coroner Jerry Overman, here with us today, and I also have Colleen Sullivan from CORE.
Yeah.
And so since I'm kind of off the CORE board and out of the coroner business, I'm going to take a step back and let these two talk to you.
There you go. There you go. Now, Colleen, you're actually going to be making a presentation today or tomorrow?
Yes, I will be presenting to the Rotary Group, talking a little bit about donation, what happens with the organ donation process, and why do we have such a need here in Western Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
How many people are waiting?
So that's today?
That is today, this afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So that's going to be a big visit for them. And you know, that's a good group to talk to because those are really active people. And if anybody can get people swinging into action, it's them.
Exactly. And so when you think about signing up as a registered organ donor, most people are only asked when they go to the DMV. How often are you going to make that decision? You're only going every 4 years. So it's incredible to have opportunities to network with some folks that might be more influential in the community and have that ability to encourage folks to register as a donor. It's about getting out, talking about donation, getting more awareness, and also presenting that opportunity for folks to register more frequently.
Do you find that being a barrier to people actually signing up as organ donors, the fact that it's just an awareness thing?
Certainly. And I think most folks don't talk about organ donation unless if they're personally touched by it. If you know someone that has been an organ donor, tissue or cornea donor, or if you know someone that's received a transplant or waiting for a transplant, it's not a common conversation. We don't have mandated high school education here in Pennsylvania, something that we would like to have happen. But right now, it's probably if they've seen a presentation about organ donation. Recently, we just had organ donation highlighted in the pit, if anyone was able to see that. And
Yeah.
your listeners, it was a really great portrayal of what the donation process looks like, the type of compassion and respect that we provide to the families, and the opportunity that it gives the families to honor their loved one through that donation.
Yeah, it really is a sensitive subject with family members, too. I want to come back and talk to you about that, but let's bring Jerry Overman Jr. into the conversation as well, because you've been on the front lines of this thing for quite some time, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. When
Many
we
years.
think about the various situations in which a coroner will find himself or herself and the opportunities that must be recognized in order to make an organ vital and really viable for folks for organ donation. It's something you always have to be aware of, while at the same time you have to be very, very sensitive to the survivors of whoever it might be.
Right, you got to let up the choice of family. And we encourage it, but we don't force it. I don't know what their beliefs are, what they want to do, but we do encourage. We interview before we call CORE for referral, because a lot of times we can screen it out because maybe somebody has found it's been past the time that the tissue is viable. So we screen that out for them instead of just giving them additional work without knowing it's going to go somewhere.
Yeah, that knowledge base has to be pretty wide.
Yeah, we've with their liaison, TJ Roser, he keeps informed on what the protocols are, what the standards are. So we know whenever we encounter a death that whether we can approach it for organ donation or not. And unfortunately, in our area, most of our stuff we see is not approachable because of the unknown time of death, because people's usually found in their residence or something like that. So it limits down to where it's a witness, cardiac arrest or, a vehicle crash, an overdose or something like that. So that limits us down real quick on what we can refer.
Yeah.
And recently, last couple of years, Indiana Hospital has been keeping more people in the ICU. And we've actually had people that were kept on a ventilator, life support, to be able to do organ donation. And I remember the first time we did that, they called and said, hey, what are we going to do with this? Like, I don't know, it's the first time for us. They went back and looked at their records, or all the records they had, they never found where there was an organ donor, a true organ donor out of Indiana Hospital in like 25 years.
Wow. Wow.
So it's progressed. We've done several now.
Yeah.
And I won't stand in the way of it. It's like if somebody wants to donate, we're donating, no matter what the circumstances of the death happens to be.
Sure, but you're right. The various factors that determine whether something is viable, trauma is certainly one of those, and medical history and cause of death. All of those things have to be considered before even the family can decide yes or no on organ donation and what organs can go.
I'll ask them, no matter what the circumstances are, do you wish your family member to be an organ donor? If they say yes or no, or they say, well, think about it. If they say think about it, then I pass it on, because now that's another person in contact with them to maybe try to convince them into doing it. In our situation, like that's going to be a tissue donation, not an organ.
Yeah.
Which comes down to like corneas, long bone skin, heart valves, ligaments, tendons, and I think that's probably about it. But, but like in a hospital, an event, that's all your important organ in your body can be donated, and we don't stand in the way, even if it's a homicide. Okay. If the organ's bad, CORE's not taking it. If the organ is injured, CORE's not taking it. So it comes back to our autopsy habit. But on the same side of it, CORE will give us a path report for every organ they do. So we have, for our pathologist to go into a trial or whatever, they have everything they need, and probably more in depth than what they're going to do in an autopsy suite. So we'll never stand in the way of organ donation.
Yeah, yeah. Colleen, when we think about folks and organ donation and the decision at the outset, which comes generally, you're in good health and life is going well for you, and you make that decision, I'm going to sign up for organ donation. That is, when you get to the point where someone has passed away or is on the verge of passing away, the dynamics around the whole thing, they change, don't they?
There are a lot of emotions involved when someone has the opportunity to identify whether their loved one has a potential to be a donor. As Jerry was saying, most of the families that he's working with are from tissue or cornea donors in those opportunities. And we have many more tissue and cornea donors in our service area. Organ donation is more of a unique opportunity, as we're talking about. And those opportunities happen at the bedside, talking with the hospital, talking with the family. Now, when folks are going to the DMV, they can sign up ahead of time and they can register and they can put it on their driver's license, where we have about 51% of Western Pennsylvania that have signed up on their driver's license. After someone has signed up, it's incredibly important to have the conversation with your family, what you have decided to do. Because if you've signed that, that's a legally binding document. That's first person authorization. That means that if that's a decision that you've chose to do, we are going to work to uphold those wishes of designated donors. So it's an important conversation to have with your family afterwards. Now, there are times where individuals have not made that decision yet. And in those circumstances, we work with the appropriate family member to have that conversation. Was this something that the family talked about? Was there something where they were a little concerned about donation, some questions that we might be able to answer? Or maybe it just was something that folks never thought about. Maybe they just didn't register, didn't talk about it, didn't think about it.
Yeah.
So then that becomes a question for the legal next of kin to answer. And that can be a very difficult question for someone to answer if their loved one didn't decide already, and if they're not aware of what their loved one wanted.
Yeah, yeah. But in the end, what we're talking about really is saving lives, and the opportunity that you have to give life to someone that is going to extend their life, give them a better quality of life, and it really, in the end, is a wonderful decision to make. And so when you consider the number of people on waiting lists and where your organ might be able to help somebody, for a lot of people, that's an easy decision to make. For some, it's quite the difficult decision to make. But making that decision, making that choice is the thing that you're all about.
We have across the country over 100,000 people that are waiting for a life-saving transplant. And as I mentioned, 51% that are designated in Western Pennsylvania. We don't have enough folks that are signing up and saying yes to donation, but it is an absolutely incredible gift to give. During the tragedy that our families are facing, they still find that generosity to think of others and to help others and to continue to pass life on. And what we find through the bereavement services that we provide to our donor families, donation is incredibly healing for them because it allows us to walk with them through their journey of grief after that donation process. We have a 13-month bereavement program where we continue to touch base with them, talk with them, provide services if services are necessary. And then hopefully they come on board and be a volunteer with us and talk and share their testimonial, their personal story out in the community. And we have found through so many surveys that they find satisfaction and a way to help them heal through that journey of grief through this donation process.
It's interesting you said that because the word healing was going through my mind just as you said that. Jerry, of course, in your business, when you come across a situation such as that and the sensitivity that is required by everybody involved, I think one of the amazing things is we see it portrayed all the time on television, and as Colleen was saying, portrayed very, very well in a lot of cases. That episode on the pit was, wow. It really highlights the emotions of it. You're right in the middle of that when you go and you're called upon to perform your duties. And so I'm sure it affects you and affects everybody.
It does. It affects everybody. And, the donation does bring some closure to families. Yeah. I've talked to some that's just done after, but they're like, hey, you know what? The organs or the tissue is no longer good to my family member. If it can help somebody else, please do it.
Yeah.
When you hear this kind of response, like, that people's just being completely unselfish. There's other people that they do have beliefs and they can't do that. They can't bring themselves to have that done, which, is also respectable. If that's their choice, that's their choice. I don't, I do care, but I can't intervene if they don't want to do something. And I'm not going to push them if they don't want to. And my experience with CORE, with all the people who talked on air, because they'll call me like after I make a referral and they'll say, hey, they don't want to, and they drop it, But how many people you talk to after they've donated loved ones, either organs or tissue, are very happy they did, especially when they hear like they took the corneas and they say, my loved one is seeing through somebody else right now.
Yeah. Wow.
So it is very touching and it's very warming to hear those type of comments. I can't imagine like if I was in need of an organ and thinking how happy I'd be, but how sad I would be for the family just lost a loved one.
Yeah.
What an honor though to receive a gift from a family, from somebody that's dying.
Yeah.
Or died.
To understand that a part lives on even as the rest has gone on. Colleen, you'll be meeting again today with Kiwanis at what time? Rotary. I said Kiwanis, didn't I?
12.
Yeah, Rotary at noon. At noon. Well, thanks for coming in to visit with us today. We appreciate it. People want to learn more about CORE, about what you do and how they can become organ donors. What should they do?
They should go to core.org, talk to their family about donation, and have that family conversation and understand what your family has decided and talk to them about your wishes as well.
Core.org. That's CORE.org. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's Indiana in the Morning. Jerry, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, good to see you again.
Always a pleasure.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Westwood One Sports next, brought to you by S&T Bank, People Forward Banking.